Hey everyone, today is September 18th, 2022. So a few days ago I put out a warning for a possible event on September 16th. One of those reasons was because of this image in iPet Goat 2. As I said, this flower blooming out of the apple represents the flower moon eclipse of May 15th and May 16th. It represents other things because this is multi-layered, but anyways, this LC can be the 12th and 3rd letter. So I said 123 days after this flower moon eclipse is a big day to watch, especially because other decodes that I did in iPet Goat 2 that would make sense that lined up with this decode. So the biggest event of that day was actually a fire on a skyscraper right here in China. It was a 42-story building. So after that happened, I was wondering if there was any kind of connection. It had nothing to do with any kind of event that I thought might happen or a location, but was it related? I didn't really look into it until today. Then I noticed the name. I was like, oh my gosh, there it is. The Lotus Garden China Telecom Building. And I mean, right here is the lotus flower blooming out of the apple. And I was telling you guys that the event relates to this scene with the lotus flower because it relates to the flower moon eclipse. And so there you go. Again, there's just sometimes there are random events that I don't know what's going to happen, but I've predicted some of the dates correctly based on my decodes from iPet Goat 2. Just not my interpretation has always been right. But when I looked into it further, it gets interesting. But I want to go back to September 3rd, 2022. So on that day, a man stole an airplane and threatened to fly it into Walmart. So what do you think of, like, what kind of, you automatically kind of think, oh, it's like 9/11, you know, a guy hijacks a plane, threatens to fly it into a building. And there's a lot of synchronicities with 9/11 because on that day, September 3rd, it leaves 119 days remaining in the air. And also with the number 93, he had the first plane hitting the tower, affecting floors 93 to 99. The second plane hitting the second tower at 9:03 a.m. You had flight 93 crash in a field. You add up the two flights that hit the two towers, it adds to 186. Well, the number 1109 is the 186 prime. Even taking that number and dividing it by 2, guess what? You're left with 93. And to top it all off, it was the 55th anniversary since Osama bin Laden's father died in a plane crash. And when I looked, it was the same type of aircraft that this guy stole on that day, on his anniversary. So 9/16, the date we're looking at, that's also 9/3 on the Julian calendar, the calendar that we used to use before the Gregorian calendar in 1751. So you got a skyscraper on fire, reminiscent of 9/11, the planes hitting the towers, causing the fire. So back on 9/11, it was a big skull and bones ritual because you had George Bush, the Skull and Bones president, number 43. It just so happens, not by chance, that the 43rd day leaves 322 days remaining in the year, the number of Skull and Bones. George Bush's birth date was 20,023 days apart, with the dates reversed and end date included. And also Bin Laden, his birth date was 2,322 weeks, 2 days apart, another Skull and Bones number. And 19,717 days apart from the CIA, Air Force, and Department of Defense being founded. Well, that equals the 2,232nd prime. Air Force being founded, you got the planes. Department of Defense, which is the Pentagon, which was involved, obviously. And the CIA being founded, all on the same day. And the conspiracy is that the CIA was involved. So another Skull and Bones ritual this year was on 7/6, which is George Bush's 76th birthday. Also, Skull and Bones equals 76 in the reverse full reduction cipher, but that was the day the Georgia Guidestones were tore down, and the Georgia Guidestones opened on 3/22. So the Skyscraper Fire event also related to Bush and 9/11 because it was exactly 76 days, or you could say 7,676 days after the 9/11 attack in the Twin Towers. And look at this. As I said before, the name of the building was the Lotus Garden China Telecom building. Well, that equals 3/22 in the first cipher. So, as you guys know, the images in iPad Go 2 are multi-layered. And I said in my video, this always reminded me of a wave. And I wondered if there's going to be some sort of tsunami 72 days after Bush's birthday. And I looked back, I decided to look back, maybe there was one and I missed it. And guess what? There was. On September 16th, 72 days after Bush's birthday, there was an 8.3 earthquake tsunami near Chile. It killed 15 and destroyed over 16,000 homes. This date's also relevant because it's 322 days before Obama's birthday. It was also 8/4 on the Chinese calendar, which is Obama's birthday. And as you guys know, they show Obama in iPad Go 2, and there's been several other events relating to Obama. For instance, the recent one, the monkeypox death. First monkeypox death in the U.S. in Texas, where Bush is from, was on 8/4 on the Chinese calendar this year. So my interpretation might have been off, but the date was still on target of an event relating to that lotus flower apple scene, Bush, and 9/11. So very interesting. So September 16th, one of the things I said, it could relate to the Pi variant. It still could. I mean, we'll have to find out, because a lot of times after these variants are confirmed, they say the first case happened a while back, a month or so, or 2 months, or a couple weeks. But we are in the year of the water tiger, and I showed you guys lots of evidence pointing to Pi and the water tiger here. So, and even showing Pi on Baron Samedi, which Baron Samedi represents the Day of the Dead. So it's very possible that we might hear about the Pi variant right around Halloween. Also, I could make a case for October 1st. That's the date I already talked about, that I believe Kamala Harris will be president. But I'm probably not going to do another video trying to predict when the Pi variant will be here. But when it does, I'm sure it's gonna fit with the numbers. So anyways, I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.